On today's video, I'll be taking you on a driving tour of the gated neighborhoods of Prosper, Texas. If you're looking for extra privacy, exclusivity, and a strong sense of community, these neighborhoods offer just that. Throughout this tour, I'll be covering everything you need to know, where these communities are located, what kind of HOA fees to expect, and what makes each one unique. We'll also talk about curb appeal, the overall atmosphere, and of course the pros and cons of living within these gated neighborhoods. Whether you're actively house hunting or just exploring your options, this video will give you a great feel for what these communities have to offer. So that makes sense.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video today. On this video, we are gonna be checking out the 5 gated communities that I refer people to when it comes to wanting a secure neighborhood within Prosper, Texas. The first neighborhood we're gonna be looking at today is Montclair. We're gonna then jump over to Parkside. We're gonna go look at Christy Farms, talk about Amberwoods, and then check out the new Twin Creeks Ranch community by Partners in Building coming up along the border of Salina and Prosper. The first neighborhood that we're in right now is Montclair. I'm gonna drive around this one real quick. It's gonna be a short one in this neighborhood. Not a lot of these neighborhoods are big. The 2 bigger communities that we're gonna be looking at today is Parkside and Christy Farms. The other neighborhoods are gonna be a little bit smaller with not a lot of homes. So within this neighborhood, there's like less than 20 homes in here. There's only a few lots available. This is also the same piece of land that used to be Deion Sanders. Basically property, huge acres over here. When I was growing up, this was like the only house over in Prosper, Texas that you would see off Preston Road. This is Deion Sanders' old house here. I guess he sold off the land, of course, and then turned this little area into more of custom lots in here. And the builder in here, there's a couple different builders, but the builder right now that has some stuff available is Our Country Homes. They have one for sale right now that's already built, and then they have another one that's like quick move in, and then there is a lot in here for sale. The tax rate in this community is going to be 1.99%. The HOA in here is going to be $4,200 per year. This neighborhood is probably going to be one of the most exclusive communities just because there's not a lot of houses in here. The neighborhood is literally in the shape of a U with 2 cul-de-sacs, and then that is it. So those were all the houses right there. So there still is some new construction. There is still a couple more lots left in here to build. The current home for sale, there is a 2024 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 4,245 square feet, listed at $1,500,000 at $353 per square foot. In the last 365 days, 2 homes have closed in here. On the low end, there was a 2024 6-bed, 5-bath, 5,083 square feet, closed at $1.5 million at $295 per square foot. And then on the high end, there was a 2023 5-bed, 7-bath, 6,657 square feet, closed at $1,697,000 at $254 per square foot. You just have a gated entrance in here. There's no security guards. Lot sizes are gonna range from 0.3 of an acre up to 1 acres. No other amenities in here, no community pools. They do have sidewalks out here, I guess you could say, for a walking trail, but not really a designated walking trail. And then the school zoning for this neighborhood is going to be Prosper ISD for Johnson Elementary, Reynolds Middle School, and Prosper High School. The thing that I like most about this community is going to be the location, so I'll show you this real quick. This is going to be the neighborhood that is set up in the best location to get out to the Dallas North Tollway, movie theaters, amenities, PGA, all that kind of stuff that's kind of up on the north side of Frisco and south side of Prosper. We're basically on the far south side of Prosper right here, and then just on the outside of this community, you can see the gates here. So you just put in a little code, and then leaving, I don't have to put in a code, it just opens right up. And then straight ahead is Preston Road. And just right outside the community, there's gonna be, for example, there's an Italian restaurant, there's a Baylor Scott and White rehabilitation, there's a grocery store out here, Kroger, and then just a little bit further down is going to be the Gates of Prosper. So that's not even like 2 minutes away from here, really close, but there's other things around here like Wingstop, Mooyah, AutoZone. There's a gas station right outside this neighborhood, but you're also only moments away from downtown Prosper as well. And now we're on to Coit Road, just about 3 minutes away from Montclair is located at. This next neighborhood that we're going to go through is going to be Parkside. This community in here has got a lot more homes in it than that previous one. This one's still kind of an exclusive community. There's only very few homes that usually get listed in here, not a whole bunch. No guards at the gate. Once again, an entry code. This neighborhood is zoned for Collin County. Tax rate in here is going to be 1.99%. Off the MLS, I saw the HOA in here was $1,675 up to $1,840 per year. And then the current homes for sale right now, on the low end, there's a 2018 4-bed, 4.5 bath, 3,506 square feet, priced at $1,250,000 at $356 per square foot. And then on the high end, there is a 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,310 square feet, priced at $1,050,000 at $317 per square foot. On the low end sold in the past 365 days, there was a 2023 bed, 3.5 bath, 3,030 square feet, closed at $955,000 at $315 per square foot. And then on the high end, there was a 2018 5-bed, 8-bath, 5,504 square feet, sold at $2,025,000. So that's on the high end in here. So you are going to have homes in the $2 million plus that are on a bigger piece of land. And then you're going to have homes in here that are on the smaller piece of land, and maybe they're a little bit older, but even then these houses in here are not old. This is relatively a newer construction community. I would say it's probably the second youngest or one of the youngest. Twin Creeks Ranch is going to be the youngest neighborhood. Montclair is going to be the youngest. This is the next one, and then the other ones we're going to look at Christy Farms and talking about Amberwoods. The homes in there are a little bit older. Amberwoods is going to have the oldest homes. Some of those homes date back to the 1990s, but that neighborhood's going to be a lot different than what you're kind of seeing with the homes kind of right next to each other. There's really only Amberwoods that has a gated neighborhood with tons of space between you and your neighbor. Maybe Twin Creeks Ranch has a little bit more space, but other than that, everything's going to be kind of stacked up with your neighbor, relatively close to each other. Backyard spaces are going to be good and bad in some areas of this neighborhood. Some of the homes are going to have privacy, like these homes right here have a little bit of privacy on the backside because there's no neighbor. And I do believe it's an open field, so that might change at some point. But you've got homes like this on the left side that do have a neighbor on the backside, so maybe a little bit less private because there's no alleyways in here. You just have all the garages at the front of the house with the driveways. The lot sizes in here are going to range from 0.2 of an acre to half an acre. So if it is on something that's half an acre, that's more likely going to be up in that $2 million range or even higher than that. The amenities in here, nothing. You get no clubhouse, you get no gym, you get no community pool. It does have a small walking trail in here with a couple ponds in the middle of the community, but other than that, you're not really going to get anything else. This is zoned for Prosper ISD. All these neighborhoods we're going to go through today are Prosper ISD, however, they are zoned for different schools. So this one is zoned for Rucker Elementary, Rogers Middle School, and Walnut Grove High School. The thing I like most about this community is that it's going to be zoned for Walnut Grove. I also like how close it is to Preston Road, also in a really good location to get out to the gates of Prosper, not too far away. These two neighborhoods we just went through are going to be, I think, in the best locations if you want to be around other things around Prosper, or you need to be as close as possible to Plano or Frisco. The thing I don't like with this neighborhood is that right outside this community, it's a crappy one-lane street. I wish that was expanded out. The other thing I don't like, I just wish it had an amenity center. A nice pond and a walking trail is cool and all, but if I'm spending $2 million and $1,600 to $1,800 a year on my HOA, I wish it just came with just a little bit more. But it is a nice little charming neighborhood. And then also right outside this community is the big community park that Prosper is building. So, you don't get the park and playground and stuff inside of here, but at least right outside of this community, you do get that. All right, next neighborhood that we're gonna head over to now is Christy Farms. And now just 5 minutes north down Custer Road, we're up here at Christy Farms. So this one's just a little bit further away to some of the shopping. It is off of Main Road, Custer, so getting down to 380 would be really easy. So for Christy Farms, once again, still zoned within Collin County. Tax rate in here is going to be 1.99%. And then the HOA is going to be $575 quarterly. The homes in here, if you can kind of tell the difference than that last neighborhood we were in with Parkside, these are gonna be a lot more spaced out in here, so you are gonna have a lot of distance, or at least a lot more distance between you and your neighbor. And these homes in here are not old. You're looking at like 2014s, 2015s, 2016s, 2017s. So relatively newer community, not one of the oldest communities. The one neighborhood that I'm not really mentioning today that we're not going to be looking through is the Enclave at Whispering Farms. That neighborhood actually has a security guard at it. The rest of these neighborhoods, and that's like the only one in Prosper that actually has like a person at that gate, but there's no homes active in there. There's only like a line of like 10 homes. So that's the only other one. So really there's about 6 neighborhoods in Prosper that are gated, but this one is going to have more of the homes that are on bigger pieces of land. This is going to be kind of similar to what Twin Creeks Ranch is going to be between you and your neighbor, but within this community there is a lot more people within here. So this is one of the bigger communities, kind of like what Parkside is, but I would say Parkside and this neighborhood both are like sitting on like the same amount of land, but there's less homes in here at Christy Farms, but the homes are sitting on a bigger plot of land, and that will be reflected back in the price point. So like for example, right now there is a home for sale that's a 2015 7-bed, 7-bath, 7,064 square feet, priced at $2.999 million at $424 per square foot, sitting on 3 acres. Homes sold in the last 365 days. On the low end, there was a 2016 5-bed, 5-bath, 5,222 square feet, closed at $2,075,000 at $397 per square foot. And then on the high end, there was a 2017 5-bed, 7-bath, 5,473 square feet, closed at $2.45 million at $447 per square foot. In this neighborhood, you're gonna have homes in here plus $2 million. That's because of location, land, and just, you know, the size of the house and how new it is. If you want to be something that is cheaper and a little bit more inexpensive, but still within a gated community, the compromise on that at Parkside is just that you are gonna be on a smaller lot. You're still gonna have more of a new home, but you are gonna be on a smaller lot within there. The other thing with this community, kind of like with Parkside, I guess I like Parkside a little bit more when it comes to the walking trails and the ponds, but I like the curb appeal more within this neighborhood, of course. I would hope that would be the case, especially with the houses being like upwards of $2 million plus. I mean, there were still some $2 million ones over at Parkside, but these homes in here is just, I think the curb appeal is a little bit better. And also with this neighborhood, you're gonna have no guarded entrances. There's one way in, one way out. It's really just gonna be a gate with a code. And then there is no clubhouse, no community center, no community pool. You don't even get sidewalks within this neighborhood. So that's what I would say. Like, the one thing I don't like with this neighborhood is you don't get the amenities, you don't get sidewalks, you're a little bit further away from some of the other things around Prosper, and there's nothing really on the outside of this community, so you're at least driving 5 to 10 minutes to get to some type of coffee shop, bank, or something like that. You're not too far away from stuff, but it is just a little bit further, so just kind of keep that in mind. The school zoning for this neighborhood is gonna be Cockrell Elementary, Rogers Middle School, and Walnut Grove High School. So like, that's the other thing I like with this community, is that a lot of the newer schools that Prosper is building, this neighborhood is going to end up starting to be zoned for, depending on kind of where the demographics are and things like that. But on the opposite side of Custer is McKinney, but on that side is going to be like Prosper ISD school. So they do have plans for new elementary schools, middle schools, high schools getting put over here. So this one is zoned for the new Walnut Grove High School, but that could change later on in the future. But you'll see some more new things. This will be like a newer area of Prosper getting developed out over the next 5 years, just because it's a bunch of fields right now. Here's that $3 million house. So that's what $3 million gets you over here in Prosper. It also has a basketball court, a tennis court, and I think it had another little side house with it. So you get a pool, you get everything with that house there. So maybe you don't need an amenity center, because once again, these pieces of land are so big that you might actually be able to fit it all in your backyard. Just across from this neighborhood is a new In My Homes community. I don't know what the name of this is, but I did look on the MLS to see who owned this land. And so there is some new construction, smaller lots coming up into this area. So that's what my point was. You know, with this area right now, there's nothing on the outside of the community. So the good thing with this neighborhood and what's on the outside is there's only going to be more new things getting added here, which could help the value of the homes. But yes, right across the street on Custer, that's going to be an In My Home community, or at least that's who owns the land. And then we're going to jump up to Frontier Parkway. This neighborhood is also pretty close to the border of Salina. So just going past this light up here is going to be the city of Salina. But these three neighborhoods, it's kind of funny. They literally go Christy Farms up along Custer, then behind Christy Farms, or to the side of Christy Farms, is going to be Amberwoods. And then right next to Amberwoods is going to be Twin Creeks Ranch. Also along Frontier Parkway right now, they are building the new Salina Middle School. Not that that really matters for all of these neighborhoods I'm talking about, because they're all zoned for Prosper ISD, but just giving you guys a heads up, there is a new middle school that's getting built over here up along Frontier Parkway. All right, Amberwoods kind of just pops out over on this left side. I don't really think I'm gonna be able to drive in there. There's not really a whole bunch to talk about. If anything, I would say that this is probably the most exclusive neighborhood in terms of like homes going for sale in here. It's super, super rare to see a home go for sale in this neighborhood. The HOA is gonna be $865 semi-annually. Tax rate still 1.99%. And then it's just gonna be a keypad, but I'm not even gonna drive in. But yeah, that's going to be Amberwoods within there. Homes in there, you're gonna have like 3, 4 acre, 5 acre pieces of land, really expensive homes. There was one that closed within 365 days, but the most recent was in 2023. So it's been like 2 years since a home sold in here. And that was a 2002 5-bed, 5-bath, 4,646 square feet, closed at $1.791 million at $385 per square foot. Once again, with this community, not gonna be any walking trails, sidewalks. It looks like one person actually put a little golf course on their piece of land right there, but yeah, no other amenities. So once again, this is a neighborhood where the land's gonna be big enough to where you probably can just put the basketball, tennis court, pickleball court, all that kind of stuff actually on the piece of land. So I guess in that thinking, you don't really need the amenity center because all your amenities are on that piece of land. Also, no security guard with that one. There's one entrance in, one entrance out. Over on the right side is going to be Mustang Lake, so that's kind of the closest big master plan community to all these. And then a little bit further down from here is going to be about a 5 to 10 minute drive, depending on traffic, to get over to where Preston Road is and where the rest of the shopping. So being over on this corner right now off Custer Road, there's not a whole bunch of stuff. You have to really get down to Preston Road to get out to your shopping or whatnot. All right, this one is the new Partners in Building neighborhood. Maybe the gate's open, maybe it's open, maybe it's not. Oh man, so I'm not gonna even be able to drive in this one. Dang it! They've been having this one open for some time, but they don't anymore. So for here, it is gonna be Collin County, tax rate 1.99. And then the HOA showed $400 per year, but I'm not too sure about that. I talked to the Partners in Building sales agent at the Winsong Ranch, and he was like, he didn't even know. I asked him, I was like, what's the HOA? And he's like, I don't know yet. So, but on the MLS, they put $400 per year, but that could be wrong. That's very cheap. So that might or might not be wrong. But the current land for sale in here, so this would be something from a build from scratch. You pick Partners in Building, you customize your home. They have 1.14 acres, priced at $1,050,000. They got 1.35 acres, priced at $1.1 million. And then they have 2.67 acres, priced at 1.4. That is before you build your house. So that is just you buying the piece of land, and then you're gonna spend another probably $1 million to build your house. When I asked the sales agent at Winsong Ranch what these prices were looking like, he was like, they're gonna be north of 2.5, but most likely in the $3 million range. So if you're looking to spend $3 million, you wanna be in a relatively good location. You're not gonna get a security guard. You're not gonna get amenities, no clubhouse, no community pool, no walking trails, no sidewalks, no fields, no ponds, but you get a big ass house, and you probably get to put some amenities on your actual piece of land. land, and you want to build something that's custom from somewhat of a, like Partners Building is somewhat of a production builder, but they're like as custom as it gets for like a production builder, with it not being completely one-off, even though you can really make things one-off. That's why I like Partners in Building, is because you could do a fully custom house somewhere and buy your piece of land, but it's going to be a premium. I find that with Partners in Building, it's like the best price for going as custom as you can kind of get without really blowing the bank. I mean, it's $3 million here, so it is going to be one of the most expensive neighborhoods to buy new construction in around Prosper within this gated community, with getting nothing else, but really just your house. Here's the plat map as well, so you can see what lots are available. You can also notice on here that there's not a ton of lots available. They're gonna have 2 phases, but not a whole bunch of homes within here. The zoning right now for this neighborhood is going to be Johnson Elementary, Rogers Middle School, and Walnut Grove High School. So the thing I like most with this neighborhood, you're zoned for good schools, you're not too far away from Preston Road, and the curb appeal and the builder in here I really do like. I've worked with them before, they've been great to work with so far. Great experience, have no problems to say about them. I'm sure someone out there has a problem with Partners in Building, but from my experience, they've been great to deal with. I guess the thing I don't like the most about this community is you're paying $3 million, you don't even get a guard at the gate. You're also paying for no other amenities in here. You get no sidewalks. And then right outside the neighborhood is just a crappy 1-lane road with no lights, no nothing. So the infrastructure on the outside of this neighborhood is still a 1-lane road that kind of sucks right now. So I wish that was a little bit more expanded out, just to make it easier to kind of drive in and out of this area around Prosper. Not too far away from grocery shopping or things like that either. So relatively a good location, but you are going to be like one of the furthest areas away in Prosper from the Dallas North Tollway, and just getting around Prosper to the things you want to shop around at. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys have any other questions about the gated communities within Prosper, if you're looking for some new construction options or some pre-owned options, please send me a text or give me a call. Would love to work with you and your family on your home search. Other than that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always.
Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that, bye.